lemurs. Did you know that's how they figured out Lemuria kind of existed?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you knew that.
Yes.
I saw that on YouTube the other day.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So basically, also to catch up the listeners, I know we're getting a little distracted, but I know we've mentioned Lemuria as well, and it's possibly a continent that existed during the time Atlantis, or possibly before, and then it sank, and then due to polar shifts, Atlantis rose from Lemuria. There's a couple different theories to Lemuria, but anyways, continue.
Where was Lemuria located?
That's the thing. That's what kind of baffles me, is because, like, with the lemur thing, the lemur theory, it would have been located in, like, the Indian Ocean area, in between, like, Africa and Australia. But if you go according to, like, Indian texts from India and stuff, it was, in Aborigines, it was more in, like, the Pacific Ocean area. And that's why we have, like, the Fiji Islands and Easter Island, is because there was a continent there at one point. It sank, and that's the remnants, is those little islands.
And we have the Ring of Fire around there, too.
And they think that's actually what brought down Lemuria, is because it had tubes. Have you ever heard of islands with the cave tubes?
Cave tubes?
Like, they're like, basically it's a floating island, and there's, like, holes you can even, like, canoe your boat through and stuff, but sometimes they fill up. The tide fills up these holes, and the island goes down, and then those caves are just underwater. And then it floats. It makes a floating island. Those are islands that float. There's these islands that actually float that have, like, holes under the island that go through them, like tunnels, like almost like coral, almost in a way.
Yeah, like a reef.
Yes, and so, like, they'll get water and then they sink, but the island still floats and shit, and then it'll come back up when, the water exits or tide shit happens. So Lemuria was similar built. It was like a floating island. It was humongous, and it had all these, like, tunnels and shit through the bottom of it, but instead of water filling it, lava filled it, the Ring of Fire. And it got filled with lava, and that brought down the island completely because it weighed it down, basically.
Okay.
Just like Atlantis, supposedly. But who knows? Maybe they're getting Lemuria and Atlantis mixed up, or maybe they're the same thing. Who knows? Because they do say Lemurians lived on Atlantis in spirit science videos. And they're the ones who say that Lemuria was there before Atlantis. But like I said, there's like 2-3 different variations of Lemuria, bro. There's either the one where it sank and then became Atlantis, or there's the one where it sank, became the Pacific Islands, or it sank in between Africa and Australia, and that's why we kind of have Madagascar and Sri Lanka and stuff, and then we have all the lemurs that kind of border Africa into India and Australia and stuff, and that's why they think Lemuria was there, because the lemurs, how did they get in all those places? There had to be a continent that connected them. And I'd heard that like 10 years ago too, that there was a continent there, and I think they called it Lemuria as well, that there was a continent that connected Africa, India, and Australia together, and that's why you have Aborigines and the Dogons and shit. All these, they're literally ancestors of Lemurians, yeah.